America. A fascist America. All right, on deck, we have Jai Chavis, Independent Socialist Group. Are you here? All right, come on up. Give it up for Jai Chavis, everyone.
Woo! How everybody doing? I can't hear you. How you doing? Woo! Alrighty, my name is Jai. I'm a member of the Independent Socialist Group. And you know, as a number of people have pointed out, but it's always worth saying, as we've been saying for years, Trump is only a symptom of the crisis that we're facing, not the cause. And I'll tell you right now, Biden is not the cure. He's just another symptom of this violent capitalist system. To see the trajectory of Biden's presidency and his do-nothing approach, or sorry, let me correct that, his only supporting his fellow rich cronies approach and having no interest in our interests, we only need to look at his cabinet, which clearly shows that he has no interest in fighting for us. As Biden continues to fill his cabinet with war hawks, fossil fuel lobbyists, and refuses to oppose fracking, he's sending a clear message that just like Trump and just like Obama before him, Biden has no plan to make serious changes, not on climate change, not on opposing imperialist wars, not on the things that really matter. He's just going to continue the same sorts of things, right? Simply believing in science is not good enough, right? Supposedly, right? We need actual action, right? In terms of climate, our crumbling climate and the environmental racism that still impacts all our communities today. You know, we need to solve any of that. We need a socialist Green New Deal that can nationalize the entire fossil fuel industry and major polluting companies and rapidly transition to green energy, right? We need to expand mass transit and make public services like the MBTA, for example, fully free. Make more buses, more trains. That's what we need. That's what's actually going to improve the lives of working people. That's what's actually going to fight this existential crisis we face, like climate change. And Biden is prepared to do none of those things. And there is, of course, Biden and Kamala Harris's role in expanding mass incarceration. I don't think anyone's mentioned that today, but that's always important to remember. Expanding racist policing and openly, and I do mean openly, opposing all the major demands raised by the Black Lives Matter movement. So we have to understand that these so-called leaders in no way represent our interests. That they are here to support a capitalist anti-worker agenda, and that is their priority. And this should in no way surprise us. As someone said earlier, the Democratic Party has always been and will always be a capitalist party that merely pays lip service to the rights of workers. The 1994 crime bill was signed under a Democratic administration, written and co-authored by Joe Biden. Never forget that. The continued wars in Iraq and Afghanistan were continued to be spearheaded by a Democratic president. The surveillance state that we live in now was expanded and created by a Democratic president. We can't forget these things. While Trump has been bungling his way through this pandemic, what has the Democratic Party been doing? Sitting on their hands and doing nothing to solve or even discuss the essential issues needed to end the pandemic. So we need to break from the logic of capitalism, and we need to invest in working class communities. Biden has put forward another half-assed stimulus bill to try to get us back to normal that won't make a single dent in the pandemic in any serious way. What we need is a stimulus for working people, not the rich, not the trillions of dollars that have been dumped into these banks. A stimulus for working people. We need to extend the eviction moratorium, and we need to cancel rent. We need to build massive amounts of public affordable housing and free housing. We need to institute universal health care right goddamn now. Expanded unemployment. These are all just the beginning of what's necessary. But to do this, how are we going to achieve this? We have to build our own power. And this must culminate in the form of an independent workers' party that can take up serious demands, rally all those interested in fighting against racism, against homophobia, and against all forms of repression, and give the millions of workers who are fed up with the capitalist two-party system something to actually vote for instead of just something to vote against. And to build this movement, we don't do it from scratch. We do it using the movements that are happening right now. The Black Lives Matter uprising that continues to this day, even though it's in its ebb, we have to take that energy and use it and fight against these right-wing, semi-fascist agitators on January 6th, to take this energy into the streets and to crush them politically out in the streets, to show them that they will not scare us, that we will not be terrified by them, and that we can oppose them with our demands and with our power. That the Trump and Trumpism and the right wing have no sway here. And through our demands and through our fight, we can build this movement. We can build a new party, and we can fight for it, and we can make a serious change. We can give people something to vote for, and we can get rid of this two-party system and get rid of this capitalist system that continues to hold us back, that continues to rob us and exploit us, that continues to destroy our lives, that continues to underpay us, that continues to literally cut pay of nurses in the midst of a pandemic, that continues to cut healthcare workers. We can do this, but we have to do it together. We can't rely on our government. We definitely can't rely on the police to do it for us. We have to do it. Solidarity. If you agree with anything I said, check out the Independent Socialist Group. We have folks circulating around with pamphlets and whatnot. Yeah, you can also check me out over there. All right.